Now in this video, we're going to look at how we go about completing this drawing right here. So this shows an isometric figure. There are some isometric curves and circles and arcs, so we'll have to apply the principles not just of isometric but of isometric circles and arcs as well. Alright, so we're going to start with the top and work our way down. So we're going to start with this face right here. So it says that this face of the figure is a rectangle which is 49 by 50. So we can start with that. So to start, we just go on to the isometric grid by turning on ISO draft right here. So I'm going to click ISO draft and turn that on. So now you can see the different isometric draft. The lines are now at 30 degrees. So I'm going to press Control F5. For some people it might just be F5. I'll press it again. And the reason I did that is because I want to join the isoplane left. Because this face is in the isoplane left. You don't have to use Control F5. You can click the drop down arrow here beside ISO draft, and you can select isoplane left or top. I'm going to use isoplane left because this is in the left plane here. So it's 49 by 50. So I'm going to select a line, and I'm going to draw that line 49. So I'm going to type, let me just turn on ortho here. So this line is going to be 50, like that, and then this one is going to be 49. And then I'll bring this across again 50, and then close this here. Oh, let me turn on object snap as well. Alright, there we go. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to get this curve here, and we're going to get this thing in the middle here. So it says that this curve has a radius of 13. If we zoom in, we can see it. This curve here has a radius of 13. To get that, I can select a line here. I can come to this endpoint, click there. Just ensure you have endpoint turned on in object snap, and normally keep everything turned on. Draw this line down by 13, and then draw a line down by 13. And there we go. So now with that we can get the circle. Let me just delete that line. So now we can get the isometric circle here. So you're not going to use circle because it's isometric. So you're going to type ellipse, and then you're going to type I for isocircle. So type I, enter. Click right here. This is the center. The end of that line is the center, and bring it right there. And now you get the curve. So we got that curve. So from the center of this to the center of the curve over here is 24 millimeters. So you can draw across here by 24. So we can do that, and right, type 24. So the center of the next circle is going to be right there. So we can just copy this circle. We can click on this circle. We can select the copy tool here, and then we can copy it from here and move it to here. And there we go. Now there's a next curve right here, and it says that this here, this semicircle has a radius of 13, and they share the same. It shares the same center as this. So this has a radius, a diameter of 13. So if it has a diameter of 13, that means that the radius is half of that, which means that the radius is therefore 6.5 or 6.5. So I can type this again, and then type I for isocircle, and then click here as a center, and then I'm going to draw this with a radius of 6.5, and then I can copy this. I click on this, select copy from here and over here. There you go. Let me just, I'm just checking that this is at the right point at the end of the line. Yeah, there we go. Okay, nice. Alright, so now we have these two lines. We have this line and this line, which are from the different tangential points on the circle. So as I say, I keep everything on in except for nearest, and I'm doing isometric. I'll just turn on nearest if I need to. So select line. I'm going to draw a line from up here where the line meets the circle there. I'll bring that across, and I'll get the point of tangency right there. And from here, I can do the same thing. I can just draw a line from over here it's not going to select the point of tangency. So I could draw a line down, and if I draw a line down, then I would know exactly where I'm drawing this this from. So I could bring this across now to that point of tangency, and then I can delete this line, and I can delete this line. Click on that line and press delete, and then we can also delete this line. Then we can just trim a few things. So we can T and we're going to trim. I've deleted this one. I need to trim this. I drew this line from the wrong point. This line should actually come from up here. Just move this. Let me just move up from this point here to this point of tangency here. That's exactly the point of tangency, but I can just move it. So I'll just move it until it goes to the tangent there. And then over here, I'll do the same thing again. This is not the exact point of tangent, so I can click here and just move it around until it's the tangent mark come up. So there we go. That's the right point. So now I can trim. So I can PR, enter, and I can trim this. Can trim this. Can trim here. Can also trim this. Trim here. There. Trim there. Trim here. Trim here. Trim here. Trim here, and then we can delete these two. Delete. There we go. So we have the front face. So from here, this goes back by 16. So we can bring that back by 16. So to bring that back by 16, we'll just click on these points here. And here, well, I didn't need this line. I didn't need this line, but I'll just bring it back regardless. And then I'm going to copy this from the end point here. And I'm going to bring it back. So I need to turn on, I'm going to press Ctrl F5. And I'm going to bring that back like that. And I'm going to type 16. Alright, so there we have it. I should have brought across this line, so I'm just delete that line. So then I'm going to select the line, and I'm going to draw a line from this quadrant here over across to this quadrant point here. And then I can trim TR, enter. And then we can trim this point. So we have that part. Now, we need to get the rest of the figure. So to get the rest of the figure here. Alright. It's that from here to the end over here is 48. So from this point here to all the way over here is 48. So we can do that. So I'm going to select a line and I'm going to draw this line from here. I'm going to bring it back by 48. Good. Then I'll do Ctrl F5 so that I can draw this down. And it says that, so what I brought across was to here. And from here down is 40, which means that from here down is 40. So we'll bring this down by 40. It says that this this distance is 16, which means that I'm going to come across to the left by 16. And then now I'm going to bring this up by 40. Alright, so 40, which brings me right here. So now there are two arcs here that share the same center. The first arc has a radius of 10 millimeters, and the next arc has a radius of 26 millimeters. So we can draw those two circles. So I'm going to select a line, and from this point I'm going to move my cursor across by 10, type 10, and then bring this down by 10. Alright, I can then delete that line, and then I'm going to select ellipse, and I'm going to type I, enter for isocircle, click on this part, bring it up to here, or you could just type 10, enter, and then I'm going to draw an ellipse from there. So I'll just give space bar to give me the previous command, and type enter, click on this center point. Radius of this is going to be 26. I'm going to type 26, enter. Alright, so there we go. We have our 2 points. Now we need to do some trimming, but before I trim, I'm going to draw this line here, this line that goes across here. So it says that this distance this distance is going to be 16. All right, and we know that this is going to be 16 because it's going, the line that we're going to draw across this line is going to touch the top of the circle, or the one of the quadrants or tangential points. And if this is 26, then from here, if this distance from here up to here is 26, and from here to here is 10, that means that the rest of the distance is 16. So what we can do with that information is we can come to this point and draw that line up by 16, and then bring us across to meet our circle, our point of tangency right there. And then now can delete this line. Then we can do some trimming. So TR, enter. We can trim that part of the circle. We can also trim here. We'll trim this point and this point. We can delete the rest. Also trim here. We can delete this. Right, and then we trim here and we trim here. And we can delete everything else. So we can delete this and we can delete that and we can delete this. So click on those and delete. So now the next thing we need to do, oh, I brought the 48 across from the wrong point. The from here to here would be more than 48. It would be 48 plus the 16 because the 48 comes from here. So that distance all the way across would be 64. So I brought it across by 48 instead of 64. So that means that it needs to go back a bit more, by about 16 more. Okay, so I can bring it back by 16. So I can do this. I can just do this to save some time. Instead of drawing everything over, I'm going to select a line. I'm going to do this. I'm going to draw this line. I'm just going to draw this line right here, 16 millimeters. Then I'm going to, like, time saving. If you're doing a and realize that you did something wrong, you don't have to go do it over again and then end it. So I'm going to, I don't need to move this line. Well, alright, I'm just do this then. So I'm going to move, alright, let me do this. So I'm going to move this and this and this and this and this as well. And I'm going to select move. I'm going to move them across here by 16. Nice. And then I'm going to select this line and I'm going to move this line from here, from this end point, bring it to this end point here. Wait, why is it? Oh, here we go. It goes to this end point right there. And just like that, our problem is solved. So I need to draw about this line though. I need to draw this line from here to there. And then we can trim. TR, enter. So we can trim that. Alright, nice. So now there's a line that comes across. It touches a quadrant here and goes across. So I'm going to select this line and I'm going to bring it from this quadrant and it's going to go across. I need to go Control F5 and I'm going to just bring this across to meet over here. So it's going to come like that point right there. So I can trim this point and trim out that part, and there we go. So we have the top done on this side here. So we need to get the down here, the lower part of the figure. So now it says that from the center of this little section here to the center of the circle is 100, or we could just take the distance from the edge, from the end here, from this point down to the center of the circle, and it says that that distance is 64. So we can do this. We can select a line, come to this midpoint here and bring this line down by 64. So we'll type 64. And then we're going to draw the large circle first. We'll start with the large circle. It says that the large circle has a diameter of 70. So we'll draw that circle with the diameter of 70. So we're going to type ellipse and type I, enter. And then we can draw the circle with a radius of 64. So 64, sorry, the diameter is 70. So that means that, let me check if it's 70 or 76 here. The diameter is 70. So that means that the radius is going to be 35. So the radius is actually going to be 35. Alright, so we're going to type for the radius, we're going to use the radius as 35. So 35. So there we have that circle. But the circle is the right place, because this circle shouldn't be directly below here. It goes back a bit. By how much? We'll figure that out. So to figure that out, what we'll do is this. We'll draw a line from this endpoint. Bring it across. It needs to come across. So we'll do Control F5. And I'm just going to bring it across there. Just to pass the circle. And I'm going to click on the circle, and I'm going to move the circle actually. I'm going to copy. And I'm going to move it to that endpoint. Then I'm going to copy the circle from here. I'm going to copy it from this endpoint here, bring it across to here. All right, and then it says that the distance from here, from the back part of the figure below, from this circle here to this circle here is 50. So then now I can copy this circle. So I can click on that circle here. I can copy it from here and bring it across by 50. So I'm going to type 50, enter. So there we go. So now I no longer need this line. So I can delete this line here. No longer need this also, so I can delete this. So now we have some things over here that we don't need. So let's just complete this first, and then we will draw this part right here. And I'm going to draw a line from this quadrant here to this quadrant over here on this circle. Good. And then I'm going to draw a next line. I'll click on this bar to give it the previous command. From this quadrant all the way to this quadrant over here, and the circle at the back. And I can trim. So TR, enter. I can trim here. I can trim this point. I can trim here. I can trim here as well, and I think I can just delete the rest. I think I can just delete the rest. So I can delete this and delete this, and then trim TR and trim off that piece there. Lovely. So now for this circle, the center of the circle, it says that the circle has a radius, a diameter of 35. So that means that the radius is going to be half of 35, which is 17.5. So we'll type ellipse, and we'll type 17.5, enter. Oh, sorry, that was from the wrong point. So ellipse, and I enter, select the center. Center is here. Let me just change the isoplane to left. And then this is going to be 17.5. So for the radius, we're going to type 17.5, enter. So that's the radius of the smaller circle. So now here, it says that this distance is 5. So from here to here is 5. All right. So from here to up here, that is 5 millimeters. What we can do is to draw a line from like the center here, and we know that from the center to up here is 17.5. So 17.5 plus 5 would be 22.5. So we can draw this line 22.5. And then it says that this distance is 10. Yeah, it says that this distance is 10 here. So if that distance is 10, we can bring this across by 5. And then extend it over the next side by 5. Good. And then we can draw this down now. Draw a line from here down to touch the circle. And then do the same thing over the next side. Draw a line from here down to touch the circle. Then we can trim TR. And we can trim here, trim here, trim here, trim here. Then we can delete this circle. And then we'll draw a line from here and draw it back. So we need to do Control F5 and bring it back over here. Let me just trim out this piece, and we'll trim that. And there you have it. That's a completed drawing. That's how you'd go about completing this drawing here in AutoCAD. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you found the video helpful, you can drop a like and also subscribe and comment below and let me know what video you'd like me to do. So thank you for watching, everyone, and have yourselves a fantastic day.